Hello, this is Ray, and today I am basically starting to look a little series where I am basically showing off like the process of my comic panels for my current comic, Trolls, a College AU. So this is pages 1 through 5. So how I started off this first page is I was just going to use 3D backgrounds to help me draw out the panels and stuff, and kind of trace over those. These are like free 3D backgrounds, and I realized that was not working at all. So I ended up finding another background for the bedroom. This is like the first scene for the bedroom scene, and using that as a reference while also using the previous background that I was going to use as another reference to get like a good angle on the room I wanted to do and everything. So I kind of like just put those two together and basically created somewhat of my own thing with the background instead of completely tracing over a new background. So for this is Poppy's room, and I'm doing it where she's gonna be laying on the bed and stuff and everything. And I decided to add a little picture. The picture is supposed to be of her and Craig because in this AU they are currently dating. So at the moment it's her and Creek. But yeah, I was kind of struggling a bit when drawing her pose, like her sleeping pose, because I'm not used to drawing people sleeping at all and stuff. It's not something I'm used to, which I should probably get into more, but I managed to figure it out and stuff. This is my first time making a full-on traditional comic and everything, because as you know, my comics are usually in webtoon style, so this is my first traditional one, official traditional one. So if the panels kind of look whack, bear with me, please. Bear with me on it. But then I decided to add, the panels and stuff. I was going to add it into the next page, and this page you just see the room, but I was like, nah, let me not do that. Let me just add on the 3 panels I was going to add in. I know I spelled creak wrong for, when she's creaking open the door. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I spelled it wrong, but I realized I spelled it wrong because I already had creak, the character already fresh in my mind, so I ended up spelling it wrong because I was having a conversation with some people on Discord about Krieg, so it was just fresh in my mind and I ended up spelling it wrong. My bad. But yeah, the line art on here, at least because it's on Procreate and I haven't screen recorded any of my process, this is just a time lapse of it, so the line art is not looking that great. If anyone knows how to fix it, please let me know. I would love to, have my line art looking a lot better, because it actually looks pretty good. And if you want to check out the pages themselves, they're on my Instagram and TikTok on my little profile called Makudo and Trolls. So go check that out if you want to. If not, oh well, I don't know what to tell you. I can't force you to do anything. But I was kind of struggling here with the coloring because of the way the panels were, and I set that little gray part I put in them to reference. So whenever I tried to color drop onto the page, it would leave those out, and I'm like, oh. So I did end up fixing it good, and I decided to put stuff into the window and everything. I was kind of randomizing colors here and trying to make it look good. I'm trying to match Poppy's vibe. I know she likes pink, I know she likes blue, so I was trying to add that in there. I also gave her a rainbow carpet because I know that would look good as well and stuff. And I decided to do some easy type shading thing for the walls and clothing and everything. The only shading that is different is for the skin, because it just doesn't match that messy type shading that I was doing for the hair and all that other stuff. It just doesn't work well with it, and for the nose as well, so it's completely different. Here I completely forgot to add a front page, a cover page, so I did that really quick. This is page 2. I was really struggling with page 2 because I was trying to figure out how exactly I wanted to let this play out. I know what I wanted to do for it, but I didn't exactly know how to do it. And like I said, this is my first time doing something like this. I'm pretty good with pretty decent with comics and stuff. And so like I already know what I want to do. It's just trying to figure out how to play it out in like the right manner, especially with this type of comic layout, because I'm not used to it. This is like my first time, and this is also for practice, so there's going to be a lot of changes within this comic because it's just for practice and to help me get used to, you know, doing more traditional like comics. I did realize that the first part, like the top part that is now in the middle, that bedroom scene, it's in the wrong spot, and it still is. I don't finally move it until I'm, you know, fully finished with it. I was flipping through pages, trying to, you know, look at it perfectly, and here is Viva. She is basically like looking to Poppy's room to see if she's up or asleep and everything. Viva's hair was kind of a struggle for me because it can never look right. In the more future panels, like my most recent ones, I fix up her hair and stuff, and I keep forgetting her markings. I always forget the markings on her face. So then, you know, I'm sketching it out and everything, and I did realize, like, after I was done sketching, like, a good amount of it, that they were in the wrong spot. I decided to not put Poppy in the bed because I just couldn't draw the pose that I wanted to be her, like, I wanted her to be in. So I just completely gave up and just replaced Viva in that whole, like, little scene area. So that's why you see, like, Poppy's not even in the bed or anything. But yeah, so, like, after I kind of finished sketch, I realized that it's in the wrong spot because it just doesn't match up. So then I kind of just flip the layers and I kind of fix them and everything and stuff, and, you know, onto the line art, which the line art is one of my favorite parts because it's so relaxing to me, especially with the pen I use for it. I made my own pen for this line art because I feel like it fit the trolls, like, aesthetic part the most. I don't know. I really don't know. I just created a brush for the line art because none of the brushes were working for me. I don't know. But yeah. For these 2 pages that I did, I was, like, in Procreate, and I had a canvas where I just, like, opened up a page and then, like, hit that page assist thing, and I realized I have limited layers. I completely forgot about that because I was so used to using Clip Studio. So then I ended up realizing that and realized I would not have enough layers to at least get a decent amount of pages in here. So what I literally had to do was I had to take everything and put it in a different canvas where each page is a new layer. So as you see here, this is where I, you know, start pasting everything into a whole different canvas, basically. And I just finish everything up here in this canvas. Here, like, in the beginning stage, I was pretty good at remembering her markings, but as I get further and further into the comic, I keep forgetting her markings. I think I ended up posting a page where her markings weren't even there, and I was so mad at myself. I was like, oh my god, I forgot her markings again. I don't even know why I forget them. It's like the most obvious thing on her. Like, every time I look at her, it's the first thing I see, but yet it's the first thing I forget when it comes to Viva. The shading I'm not too proud of because the brush was very wonky for me. I don't know, it was weird. I ended up making myself a new brush for it, and it's so much better now. But yeah, I really like the shading and stuff, like the second part of the shading, like the highlight and the highlights and the shades to the hair and stuff. I really like it on the hair. I think it looks nice. Basically rendering. I really like the rendering and stuff on here. It's really nice. I'm proud of myself with the doorknob, even though it looks whack. I'm really proud of myself with that. I think I did pretty good. I've never really drawn doorknobs before, especially doorknobs like the way I drew this. But I'm proud of myself. It looks nice. And now we are on to page 3, I think. Yeah, page 3. So for page 3, I kind of wanted to do like a 3 type panel, and it kind of like splitting into you know, like one big panel and splitting it to 3 different panels. I completely forgot to put a board on here, but oh well, it is what it is. With these pages, I'm trying not to go back and like remake the panel. I'm just gonna keep continuing with it and stuff and let my mistakes be mistakes. I was really excited for this panel as well because I really wanted to draw Viva jumping on the bed, like in a certain angle. But of course, when I get excited for something I've never really done before, I screw it up so much. As you see, I was struggling, like trying to figure out her arms. I was struggling so bad trying to figure out where her arm should be. Like, as you see, I was erasing, redoing, trying to figure out where to position her arms and stuff. As you see, I was struggling badly. I was really struggling badly. But I ended up just leaving it how I did it in the first place. And I was like, you know what, that looks good, that looks fine. We chill, we good. So yeah, this is her, like, you know, jumping onto Poppy's bed. I know it doesn't look all that, you know, appealing. It's not, I couldn't really do it how exactly I wanted it to do, but it is what it is. It's just how it turned out. Honestly, it looks good. I'm proud of it. I really liked how I did the hands. I'm really proud of myself how I did the hands. Normally I don't sketch in black. I don't know why I decided to sketch in black for this. I normally sketch in red or like blue if I'm wanting to separate, like if I wanted to see the backgrounds better or the characters better. But as you see, I went back over it in red. I was like, you know what, this looks better, but I don't know why I started sketching in black. I guess because I thought it looked cool, because I've seen people sketch in black and it looked cool, but it's just not for me. It really isn't. I like sketching in red. I think I can see it better when I sketch in red than any other color. I think any other color is just too dark or too light, and red is just that perfect balance for sketching. Honestly, you can sketch. I don't know what that was. I think I was trying to do something in it. Oh, I was trying to fill in that little crease, like those big black markings for the panels, and it just wasn't working. So that's what that little flash was. Sorry about that. So as I get in, like, you know, farther into, you know, making the panels and stuff. Oh, trying to make this was so complicated. I have no idea what I was doing. I'm not good at making those kind of bubbles. So literally I went on and found a brush for like speech bubbles, like for like those ones, and I kind of just traced over it, basically, like, well, not really traced over it, but I outlined it and then, you know, use that. So I'm gonna be using those to help me with certain type of speech bubbles, because I can't make them. I can only make the round ones. I did separate the panels more because I felt like they were too thick and it just didn't look right. So I'm like, these are panels. They're supposed to be, like, you know, spaced out at least a little bit. So I spaced them out just a little bit by just taking an eraser and just going in between the lines and stuff. I know it doesn't look, you know, that appealing, but it is what it is. And I, like, as I said, this is my first time doing, you know, stuff like this. I'm used to the webtoon formats, which takes me forever. This is honestly a lot quicker than trying to do the webtoon format. I feel like doing the webtoon format just takes a lot longer than it does. Like, for this, I can get like a good amount of pages out within like a week or so, depending on my schedule and stuff. Here is page 4. This page is kind of whack. I was trying to do something new. I felt like that I should have spread this out onto at least 2 different pages instead of trying to fit everything at once. Like the 3rd or 4th panel, however you read this, but the one where Viva is constantly calling out Poppy's name, I felt like that panel could have went on a whole different page to make it look better. I guess I wasn't really thinking of the time. Whenever I like plan out panels, I just straw it in there and then boom. I don't really exactly think about how they're laid out until after I practically did everything. I'm like, I probably should have did this better than how I did this. So I, like, if I go to ever update this comic or like remake it, I will definitely like put that panel on a separate page so that, you know, it just looks better. I did that with a newer part of a page that I'm currently working on. I put like what's supposed to be a panel onto a separate page so that it just looks better and stuff, which it only took me like a few hours today. I feel like making bigger pages, like a panel, into one giant page, it's like faster and slower at the same time because it's one big page and you're drawing like a lot of stuff in within that page and everything. So it's kind of like a lot, but at the same time it goes faster because normally having multiple panels takes me like the entire day, or it takes me a few days to finish, while making one big page takes me like a few hours. I don't know the logic behind it. I really don't, but yeah, it's just how it works, I guess. I did have to do a lot of copying and pasting and stuff. I wish I put like a border around this, or like got rid of this border part, because like, to me, I don't think having this border at the bottom without having the border on the rest of them, worked out pretty well. I don't know, it was weird. But also, when I was making this comic, I also figured out I can use my selection tool and select around like the borders and everything, and make sure I don't go like, within the line, like outside the panel and stuff and everything. I was like, oh, this is nice, I can do this. But so like that made things a lot easier for me, actually, which was nice. So yeah, back to shading, and it's just, it's the same thing over and over. For these panels, did I decide to do the background first or no? Okay, so there's some panels that I decided to do all of the background first, because I feel like it goes faster, and there's some where I just did everything, like just did panel by panel. Something I do want to try when making these comics is trying to sketch out multiple pages and then line art each page and color it, and then I want to see how fast I can get things done by that. But for right now, I'm going to keep the same process and do everything page by page until I figure it out. But that is page 4, I think, and this is page 5. I don't know, I lost count. But over on my Instagram and stuff, I say what page it is. But here, so I feel like I have a problem when it comes to making comic panels, is the first top 2 panels are always right next to each other. Like it's always 2 panels or 1, and I'm like, that's boring, it's just repeating itself, I don't know. But here I was trying to make it so like it wasn't like a 6-page panel, or like, something like that. So trying to mix it up a bit and everything. I was kind of struggling. I didn't figure out that I could use the drawing assist to make my panels until like much later, because as I was making these panels, I didn't realize it until like after I get to the Brozone scene, because the birds are just, they have their own scene. Right now it's just Poppy and Viva, but when I get into the Bozo scene, I realized that trying to use the webtoon frame and then tracing over that is not working out while using the selection tool, because the selection tool will tell me if they are straight or not, and a lot of them were like not straight, no matter how like straight I make them, even with the grid and stuff. So yeah, some of my panels are not exactly how I wanted them to be, but that's okay, because none of y'all can see that mistake but me. But here in the scene, Poppy finally wakes up to Viva constantly calling her name and jumping on her bed. I wanted to do a full-on scene where Viva is jumping on her bed, but I was just like, nah, I'm not doing that. So if I ever remake this comic, I will probably do something like that. What I don't want to do, like when my main goal is when making this comic, is to not spend so much time on panels. Like, I don't want them to be like too quick, but I want to get them done within like a few days, because I have my other comic, Deathbringer, and making panels and pages takes me weeks, and it's so tiring. So here I'm like, with this traditional comic that I'm basically testing out, trying out, I'm trying to basically see how long it takes me for each page, and to see, like, I don't know. I lost my train of thought. I'm not good at these voiceover things, but I'm trying to like see how long it takes me, and to see if it takes me weeks, days, hours to do a page. And so far it's only taken me hours. It's just I don't manage my time wisely, so sometimes it takes me days to finish a page. If I manage my time wisely a little bit better with school and all, I would probably only take like a day or 2 to finish a page. But I prioritize sleep so much, so when I get home from school, I instantly go to bed. So I'm sorry. And I don't work on a page until when I'm at school. So yeah. When it comes to the side profile or trolls, I'm not exactly used to them. I'm trying to get the hang of it more, but as you see, those side profiles of Poppy Viva did not turn out too well. I do get better at it when I draw the Bros on Brothers and stuff for their scene and stuff, but as you see, I'm still kind of learning with it. I felt like I could have put more, like, made the nose come out more instead of having the more inwards. Like, see, Viva's nose is kind of out a bit while Poppy's more inward. I feel like I should have pushed hers out a bit more. I don't know. When making their noses, I kind of have to think about a snout, and I'm not good at drawing animals. I've never been good at drawing animals. I've drawn like a practice cat like a few times with like a reference, but that's about it. I've never been good at drawing animals. I suck at drawing animals. Even like ears and tails, I suck at it. I'm so bad at it. Even like, you could say, oh, well, Ray, you're drawing like trolls and stuff, but trolls aren't animals. They're trolls, and they're not difficult. I mean, they're really not. Technically, you're not really drawing an animal, and the only time you feel like you're drawing an animal is when you're drawing the side profile, because the side profile actually looks like an animal snout. It really does. You can literally look at like side profiles of them, but when facing forward, all you gotta do is draw like a regular oversized human head, like a chibi or something, and a fat triangle like nose and some ears. I think their ears kind of look like mouse type ears. I don't know. I think that's just how I draw them. I did redraw that top panel that that the time lapse is currently showing, because I didn't really like it. It did not look that great to me, so I decided to redraw it. I'm like, I could do better. Still, the side profile for Poppy did not look that great. I'm still not proud of it, but the panel's already done, so there's not much I can, do about that. But yeah, it's just like drawing trolls is like practically drawing almost a human chibi, basically. That's how I like to think about it. Whenever when I first draw trolls, I'm like, hey, I can draw trolls. It's like my chibi art style, but with their little features. And at first I was really scared to draw their nose, because I've never drawn a nose before like that. Like, I was really scared until I tried it, and I was like, this is not bad. I like this. But as I learned when drawing trolls is, most of the times you don't see their necks unless you're doing like the 2D type thing, but in the 3D, you most of the time don't really see their necks as much unless they are like looking up or so, or but their necks are not always shown a lot, and their heads are more like widened out. See, as you see here, I should have like widened out like their heads a bit. I feel like I should start doing that with more art, because I feel like their heads aren't wide enough and they look too much like, my chibi art style and stuff. Here I was like, trying to figure out Viva's like head nod and stuff. I did like 3 different ones, but in the end I only did like 2, like the normal stance and then the up one, because I felt like it looked better, and I feel like the third one was just too much. Whenever I do the background for like the room and stuff, I always like make sure I erase it from Viva's skin, or like keep it from going onto Viva's skin, because the way I did Viva's skin, I'm pretty sure I did it wrong, but oh well. But I kind of like it the way it is now. But the reason why I like kind of erase a bit is because the pink background and her skin kind of like gray each other out a bit in a way. So it's really hard for me to see if I'm even using the right color, which Procreate tells me I am. But the way it kind of messes with my eyes, it's just like, no, you're using like a gray color, this is not the right color, when really it is. It's just because the way they interact with each other, to me at least, it kind of grays out her skin, so I kind of have to erase some stuff to make sure her skin looks accurate. So yeah, this is the final page for today. I think this is page 5. But yeah, here it is. This is all done. This is like all the time lapse and stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out my comic on my Instagram and my TikTok. I also got it on X too, so if you want to check it out on X, it is there. And have an amazing day. Like and subscribe.